Welcome back to Jersey Matters. The beaches at the Jersey Shore are open, but they require social distancing. In fact, as Kimberly Kravitz reports, one beach had to close down because people were too close together.
Here in Manasquan, several employees have tested positive for COVID-19. As you can see, their beaches are still open. But another Jersey Shore town, Long Branch, did close some beach access points because they felt they could not properly social distance.
We're checking, we know how many people go on the beach, and at a certain number, we cut it off. And then at that point, we close that beach and slide people down.
Dan George, who manages the beaches of Long Branch, says that there were just too many people that came down to spend the day, making it impossible to properly social distance.
We're 2.5 miles of beach that we actually charge to get on. We're 4 miles that we guard. We're different than 95% of the beaches around, I think, with the size of our beach. So our goal was to get people to be on the entire beach, not just in the popular Pier Village area.
So how does the city monitor the amount of people that come onto the beach?
What usually happens is the beach staff will monitor it, and once it gets to the point where people can no longer social distance themselves, we will then shut that beach access point down.
Chief Jason Roebuck of Long Branch Police says that for the future, they want to give beach patrons in Long Branch earlier notice if they have to close.
We're going to try and let people know a little earlier that we're going to be shutting down the beaches. What we don't want to have is that people come here and park and then they can't get on the beach because that makes people a little angry. So we're going to try to put up some signage and let people know as they're heading into the city that some of the beaches may be closed.
Mayor Ed Donovan of Manasquan is taking the pandemic seriously and knows that closing the beaches are an option, but he is not prepared to do that yet.
I think we would have to link it to the beach. You know, it would have to be specifically linked to the beach before we would close it. I had 12 friends or acquaintances who have passed away from the pandemic, so I really take it seriously, and I really wish that more people were wearing masks. I'm not quite sure why they're not.
And when people need to be rescued down the shore, how do lifeguards handle these situations in a pandemic to avoid physical contact and contamination?
So obviously we have a lot more policies and protocols in place to keep our lifeguards and the public safe. Obviously we have our face coverings that we wear if we're making patient contact for a medical emergency. They're wearing an N95 or greater or respirator for their protection. We have thousands of people on the beach, so we don't know if they're COVID positive, COVID negative.
Now, both towns tell me that they are taking the necessary measures to stop the spread of the virus, including keeping these bathrooms sanitized and wearing personal protective equipment. Reporting from Manasquan for Jersey Matters, I'm Kimberly Kravitz.